Okay, so welcome to this digital education session. Today we're looking at the Inner Wheel New Zealand website and database. We're going behind the scenes and we're going to take a little tour around, and I want feedback from people to help, for us to help you of where you want to find things or what you want to find out. So let's begin with going to the website. And so have I logged in? So here we are, we've got the Inner Wheel New Zealand website. I just need to log in. Can you all see the screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Great. So who has been onto the Inner Wheel New Zealand website already and is used to having a look around on it?
Oh yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the joy of being able to log in and opening up the library of resources is really what being a member is about. That's you're sort of the go-to sort of almost Bible of things, of where you're going to find all the information that you need to help you and your club to operate throughout the year. So we've had a few new things go in the library. We've still got in there the directory. So this is where if you need to contact anybody in particular, you can either, when you go to the directory, click on directory, you can either download the up-to-date version of the PDF of the directory, and that gives you a PDF printout of everyone. Or if you want to find someone in particular, you can find them in the search engine. So I'll look for myself. You see, there's Michelle Atkinson out here. So I can go and find her and I can email her. That's what the directory part is all about. I'm going to take a step backwards and go back to the homepage. And have you ever been in to look at your personal profile on the website?
Yep.
So when you log in, you can actually view your profile and you can make additions to it. You can edit. So edit your profile, and that's where you can go in and update phone numbers, addresses. If you choose to put your birthday in, you can add a profile picture of yourself in there. You can tick the boxes of all the positions you've held in a wheel, and it's sort of building the story of who you are and what you've done as far as it's keeping track of your inner wheel story. You can add in there some of your interests and some of your skills. These are tools that we don't necessarily, we're not using at the moment because not everybody's got them there, but they would be really useful for Inner Wheel New Zealand in the future if we're looking for people that have particular skills. As we develop, for example, at the moment, we are looking for a media manager and for a publicist. So we're really looking for people that might have some of those skills, and we might be able to find them through the database in the future. There's no pressure to add anything. There are some areas that are vital that need to be there because that's how we operate. We need to have your name, your club, and your membership level as such, and we need to have a way of contacting you. There are very few members now in our organisation that don't have email addresses. And let's face it, if they don't have email addresses, they're probably not likely to be in a position within a club. And the club has got a process in place already to keep them connected and with information that they may need. So it's when newsletters get sent out and that sort of thing, then they'll be sent those. So back to so that's to do with the profile. Are there any questions to do with your profile? Helen?
Yes. How do you get your photo on there?
Okay, so when you go to view your profile, you then click edit profile.
Mhm.
and you go down to the section where it says profile picture. And because I've put one in, it says here that I can remove it or I can change it, but there might be a little picture there that says add. So if I want to change it, for example, oh no, it won't, it will look like this. It will choose file. So you click on the choose file and oh my goodness, I don't know where that picture's now gone. But so then you then go into your computer and you
Oh,
find
right.
your pictures, because this
Mhm.
takes you to your computer, you find your pictures
Mhm.
and it'll be somewhere in a file
Yeah.
and I'll find it and I'll update it. But once you've clicked on the photo, so this will be some random image, who knows what it's going to be. You click on your picture and it will resize it to 110 by 110 pixels, which is just a little profile image size, and it will update it on there. It might take some time because I may have chosen a really big photo. But I will cancel that.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Let's see what's happened now. I've cancelled and I've come back. So that's all right. So
Oh,
you'll
there
have
you
a
go.
little
So
Oh,
not
look at
saved it.
So where it
You need
says choose file, and that's like with anywhere, it'll take you back into your system and you choose a photo from within your system.
And you
And it
need to press
will
save to get it saved.
And then at the very end, you need to press save. So if I was in my edit profile mode again, you'd press save, just like with anything, press save at the end and it will save. But before I pressed cancel, and so it didn't save anything. So that was great. But don't forget to save it so it will stay there.
Michelle,
So-
can I jump in here?
Yes. So
Can I go back a few steps to the
Yes.
actual login? I've tried to get onto the website and I think all I get is the public's version because I don't know
Okay.
what my profile is.
Okay, so for you it's the first time into the website, I'll go back to the home page. You won't see the library or anything like that, but you will still see the little profile picture.
Yes.
If you click on the profile picture, for you, it won't come up with your names. There'll probably be somewhere, I'm going to log out. It will come up with a login box. So if you click on it, it comes up with a login box like this. Now,
Yes.
because I've been on, I've already got it saved with my email address and my password. But because you've never been on or logged in, just click forgot password.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that will then ask you, I don't want to do it because I can't remember what that password was.
No. Okay. No, just tell me. I've realized.
Okay. And then it will come up with a message for you to put in your email address. And
Yes.
so your email address will hopefully be the one that is already on the system. And if
Yep.
it's already on, it will send you an email to that you then click, and then that will give, and you set your password.
Fine.
So that will let you in through that way.
Good. Okay.
You only need to do it once, and then you just have it hopefully sitting there as a remember me. So you can log in every time you go in.
Okay. Good. Thanks.
Okay. So yeah, just click on the profile picture, go to login, then forgot password, and follow the steps as they come along.
Thank you.
Any more questions while we're on there about profile and updating those? I can see you down the side. Can you see the other people down the side?
I've got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you just see me? Okay. Okay. So back into the library, a few new things have been added since the last time we were there. So it's got down here the Tickled Pink announcement, and that's all the information about the Tickled Pink campaign, the membership campaign. So if you want to have any information about that, that's still there on the website. We're going to keep it up on the website. And you can use that as a club to go and find out more information. We may look at doing some more online events, and we will, that name may change for the Tickled Pink announcement, but that's where there's special announcements and things will appear on the drop down there. We've also added this area here called club roles. and this is going to be
Oh,
really,
sorry, Michelle.
that's right, this is going to be extremely useful for people taking on roles in clubs next year. Because what we've done is we've created a page for every single role within, well, all of the main roles within the club committees. And if you're club president, you can go to that page and you can read what you're supposed to do, and it's got all the links there to the constitution and bylaws. It's got links to where the resource manuals are that you're going to need. It's got links to the club tools page and the resources, to the club procedure calendar. So it's got links to everything that you will need. And there's sort of like there's a downloadable version of this that you can download the PDF and you can keep that on file. If you were club secretary, you can now come in here. What I like about the club secretary role is that we've done it so that you can also, that takes you to all the additional documents and the club tools. I'll go back, sorry, because it's the ISO role that I quite like too.
Yes, I know that's what I'm going to be doing, so I'm interested in that.
Yeah, it's got the direct links here for you to get to your service records and all that information. So for each role, it's got the links on the page that you're going to need to go to save you trying to hunt around and find everything all the time. So under membership, this may also be a dual role with, she's working on it. Under membership, it could be, there's going to be links in there for information about how to, she's working on it, how to let us know there's a new member in your club, what if people retire, or what if people resign. So there's going to be links in there under membership, and that's sort of done with either the membership role or with the secretary's role. So we may get that put on both pages. But this is all being in development and it's not 100% released yet. It's going to be ready to go and roll out properly. We've just done a soft launch of it to start with now. So what would be really good is for people to have a look at those. And if there's anything on any of those pages that you feel is missing, or something in that role that you think should appear on that page, just flick us an email or a phone call and let us know. Because, for example, I haven't been a club ISO or a club secretary or a club treasurer for many, many, many years. Or actually I've never been a treasurer, so I think I know what you need. But if you've been in that role and you can see that it's not there, so like for the treasurer, we've added in links to how to do donation receipts, a template for being able to create a receipt, and a cash book template for if you want for keeping your books. And these are just resources that may be useful for new treasurers. But if you've already got things that are working for your club, don't feel that you have to use these templates. They're all just there for people that are looking for something easy for them to use. So we hope that these club role pages are going to actually grow to make each of the roles easier, not grow as in giving you more tasks to do, but will grow in order to help make the use of the pages easier with having everything at your fingertips, so that it's going to be easier for people to take on these roles and know exactly where to go to get the help and advice and information that they require. Are there any questions about those pages? Do you think that's going to be useful for your club committees?
Definitely.
We're heading in the right direction then, I hope, with making things easier.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Good. So also under the general resource section, so that everybody knows, whenever there's anything in blue and underline, it means it links to something else. So coming up, you're going to be changing over possibly the people who log into your Google accounts. If you're having trouble with those, you go to the resources section and you click on Google accounts. And Ariel has made a step-by-step instructions here on all the different things you may need to do with your Google accounts. So adding a Google account for the first time. So that's someone that's just going to log in for the first time. How to access your account. Adding for the first time on a tablet, because if you're using a tablet, it's different than using a PC or a laptop. And it can also be different when using a phone. So I think she's got all sorts of step-by-steps there as your first point of call. If someone in your club is having trouble logging into the Google account for your club, this is your first port of call. And if it then doesn't work, you contact Ariel at admin@iwnz.org.nz, and she is the fount of all knowledge and is able to help you with any of the problems that you may have. So that's your first point of call, though, is to go here and under resources.
Michelle, when you mention, say, Google account, this is the one that's connected to your club. It's not your own personal one.
Not your own personal one.
Okay.
No. This is only the one that's attached to the IWNZ New Zealand account. So every club now has a Google account, which is your emailing account, which might be like ours is aotea@iwnz.org.nz. Now we call it a Google account because it is actually technically a Gmail account.
Okay.
But we have become an organization of our own within Google, and we get all their tools for free.
Got it. Yep.
So that's why we use our own domain name. And it means then when people lose their passwords or can't log in, we're able to actually assist with changing passwords and getting people logged in. So you don't have to go all the way through to Google to get help with lost passwords. You just let admin know, and we can do all that from our back engine. We've got all the bells and whistles that we can go and click the buttons and let you back into your accounts from this end. So that's why we've done that, is to eliminate the problems of clubs having to keep getting new Gmail addresses because they keep forgetting the passwords. So this is also another good place, a resource here to go for your nomination forms. So if you are anyone that's going to be nominated for a national position or for a district position, you just click on the buttons and it will download. So that's downloaded at the bottom of my screen. That's downloaded the nomination forms for me because I want to nominate someone or be nominated for a national position. And then we've got the Marguerite Golding Award. Now, Marguerite Golding Awards are nominated, and awardees are nominated by inner wheel clubs or members or districts. Anyone in inner wheel can nominate someone for a Marguerite Golding Award, but it is not a New Zealand award. We don't make the decision on who gets it. It is actually an international award. So you need to, if you know somebody in your community who's not necessarily an inner wheel member because they cannot get the award for work they do in service they do in a wheel. It has to be service in their community outside of what they do for inner wheel. You can go here and you can download the nomination form and all the information that you need to fill out an application to get that. It comes to the president, who then sends it on to the national representative, who then sends it on to international, and the international governing body make the decisions for that. So I'm aware of one or two that are in the pipeline at the moment. So we need, if anyone is going to want to send one in, it needs to be in before the beginning of June, really, because the next international exec meeting is in June. So that's when they'll be making their next decisions on that. So that sits under nominations. Then we've got all the club tools. And this is where, if you can't find it in your club role, go to the club tools page. And here's your service records. Now, service records are due on the 31st of this month. We've done a very soft launch. Ariel has sent an email to everybody. We have developed an online form. The online form can only be accessed when you log into it using your club Google account. So I would have to go into it using my Aotea at IWNZ, because if I'm logging it for my club activity. So if you're the ISO for your club, you need to get access into the club Google account if you want to use the online form. The online form is for, if you go into it and you see, so I click on the form and I automatically log in as president. There's a little blue area that says switch account. So that's where I would switch accounts. I can't do it because I don't have my club account for that. I would switch accounts to log in for my club account. So when you press switch account, it takes you back to here, and it's not going to, I would then add a new account. I would add my club one in there, so it would then change. So I need to first of all look and see what Google account I'm in, and then you can select what club you are. You just click the buttons, give a brief outline of what the activity was. So it's one activity at a time per form. The date of the activity, if you don't have the date of the activity, just give today's date. It needs to have a date in there, but I've noticed that. But just give today's date, because some things are over a 3 or 4 month period. So just give one date, so that there is something there just to hold the place. It's not a problem. The type of project, so it's whether it's an individual has done this, whether it's a club activity, a district activity, a national activity, or an international project. So for example, if I've done, our club has participated in one of the national appeals, so we would click, it was a national, and I'm just going to go today because I don't know any other date. So I did we did a national activity, which was for other, and I'd put in there the Tonga appeal. Okay. Mm-hmm. So then I have to work out, these are the categories that are given. This is exactly the same as off your service record sheet. I would say that one is going to be for family. Hours spent, there weren't hours spent in there. We don't know how many recipients there were, but we gave $400. Oh, no, that's goods donated. No, we didn't donate any goods. We donated an amount, and we donated say $400. So you don't have to fill in every single field, because this was a donation. All I need to fill in is that it was a donation. Send me a copy of my responses, and then I press submit. It will then send you an email so you know that you've entered that one in. And then when you press it, there's a whole lot of magic that happens behind the scenes. I'm going to clear the form and not submit it. There's a whole lot of magic that happens behind the scenes once you've entered that in. Ariel has made what we call, built a whole lot of what we call macros. So it reads the information that comes from there and it populates it into a spreadsheet that we then need for the 31st of May to do all the calculations of our service hours. So if you enter, if your club chooses to do the entry like that, and it's an individual one for each service activity you've done, if you choose to use that form, then then you will find that if you've entered it twice, Aria will pick that up because she's seeing them all. She'll pick it up and she'll just make the corrections. Now, if you don't want to go through the process of doing the one entry at a time, for those people that are coming, first of all, if you're coming in as ISO for next year, they want to start at the beginning of the year. As projects come in, you just enter it straight away and there it is, it's done. So maybe once a month, you just sit down and enter them in. For others of us, the way that we have always done it is using the Excel spreadsheet. So you can download it again if you've lost it. Oops. And I clicked the Excel form and it downloaded. You fill that in just like you have done for the whole year and you email it in now to Ariel. She's going to be contacting every club. She has contacted every club ISO or club secretary if the ISO hasn't opened it. She's now collecting those and collating them for Judy. Because she has this magic spreadsheet that she's created, that it can just read all of the data and she can do all the corrections, and she's going to get all of that work done. So Ariel's in the process of contacting everybody, all the club ISOs, and the aim is to get them in as soon as possible during May. The 31st of May is the absolute deadline, but if your club is really organised and has them ready beforehand, please get them to her earlier so that we can start formulating the spreadsheets and get things going, because otherwise the 31st of May is going to be a very big day for a few of us that have reports to write on that day using that information.
I've already sent mine to our district secretary as we were instructed to do. So
brilliant.
she'll be sending it on, will she?
I will follow that one up with Ariel and get her to be in contact with the district secretaries too. Thanks, Bronwyn.
Michelle, I thought that the thing that scared me when I got Ariel's message was about backloading all the previous ones. And I'm not, because I think with somebody coming in, I think the online form, and particularly being able to do it through the year so that it's not this great panic at the end of the year, is absolutely ideal. But to be honest, I don't know. I guess all the previous ones have gone through to the district secretary or whatever, but I'm not sure where they're all kept.
Okay, so I will get her to check with the district secretaries who's got them. She's not expecting everybody to go and do them all individually. She's actually going to do them for you.
Yeah.
So if you can send her the spreadsheet, if the clubs can send her the spreadsheet of what they've already entered, she can do that. She's created this tool to read those spreadsheets to transfer the information over really quickly. So she's not.
I understand that, but as I said, it's all the ones for the years before I was president or whatever, and where they've all gone up.
Oh no, we only want this year's. We only want this year's. We don't want previous.
Oh, well, she actually said in her message something about you could use it, but she said then please backload or please enter all the other ones into a CSV or Excel spreadsheet and send it to me. And so
she was meaning this. She was meaning this spreadsheet that's online already. Okay.
Okay.
I'll reread it.
Because we're changing next year, and I'd like from here on in, I'd certainly like them to use the online form. That's all.
And that's why it's been a long time in building the online form, because we've had to make it work so that when the form gets submitted, that it all gets distributed properly. And so she's built she's done all the building behind it, which all the technical work. So it's not something we've put it there for people that want to, but it's not you don't have to. We'd like it so that next year it might be to make it easier for everybody. It's once a month the ISO sits down and just enters a couple of, you know, whatever they've been working on that month. I know that some clubs have a notebook that at the club meeting, the club members fill in the form of how much service they've done over the month. And so I can just take that home, and instead of typing it into the spreadsheet, she can just do the online form straight away. Bang, bang, bang. There it is. It's done. And she doesn't have to go back to it in 10 months' time and work out what was on that piece of paper.
Okay. Yep, thank you.
Michelle, the various services, what happens if something has been completed by members, but it had, for instance, Peggy Squares, but they haven't been put together and given to a charity yet? How do we count that?
You've still knitted them, and they were knitted for a family. You know, it comes under would come under the family category.
Okay.
And if you haven't given them to a particular charity yet, at the very top you choose. I think you just put other, and you can state where you think it's going to go, or just say, you know, yet to decide.
Yeah,
I don't know,
because some of the work will be done in the following year, of course, when they're all sewn together and then given out.
Yeah, but then you just count the Peggy Squares that have been made in that year.
Fine. Okay, good.
Yeah, so they were still knitted during that year, so you count them in that year, but
fine.
Then
thank you.
There's a bit of leeway, you know. We're not going to sit there and say, you said 120 Peggy Squares, but you only donated 25. Okay, so any more questions about your service records? Right. Under the club tools section 2, there's all your information if you want to do media, media releases. There's some training in there about how to write a media release, but always remember, just contact us if you want to get in contact with any media, like a newspaper or a radio station or something. If you need any help with that, we're always here to help. Welcoming members. So this has been an interesting process in that I know that Ariel's going to be contacting club secretaries again with sharing with you. These are the list of who you have inducted as a new member this year that you've shared with us, just to make sure that it's correct, so that for the 27th of May we have all the information correct. But under these tools, it's all there, self-explanatory of what you need to do. And your membership changes. She's adding to the membership changes a section soon on retired members, because retired members are different to resigned members. So we classify them differently. So she's going to add a little comment in there for your membership changes. And again, this is a separate section for getting all the treasurer's resources again. This is where you can get your badge orders. Download the form there to contact Rickerton and Jocelyn to get your badge orders. So there's so much information stuffed into the back of these tools that if you need anything, you just know that you can go there and get the tools. There's a FAQ section, a frequently asked questions section, because sometimes the question that you have is the same question that someone's asked many times. So this is where Ariel's built this section that if you've got a question, go there first. And then if you can't find the answer, contact us and we will quite happily give you the information. And it might be something that we add to this page.
Michelle?
Yes.
On the going back to the badge order, I went in and tried to do an order online the other day, but when I couldn't, it wouldn't let me, the system wouldn't let me click on to the, you know, I wanted 2 president's badges or whatever I wanted. I can't remember there what I wanted, but it wouldn't let me go in and put what I wanted.
No, so what you have to do,
Mhm.
we tried really hard to make the badge order system work so that people can order from online.
Mhm.
That doesn't work with the club that are running the badge orders.
Ah, right,
Mm.
okay. Yeah.
So you need to download the form.
Ah,
So
righto.
we've recreated the form here so you can see what's on the form.
Mhm.
But the only way to do it is to click on badge order form, and it then will come up, but you'll need to download it.
Ah, right, okay.
Made it so that it is editable, I believe.
Mhm.
I think you can text, you can go in and you can say that you want, oops, you press the button and you say that you want 2 of those.
Yes, you're getting it there.
Yeah, but I would, you need to download the form.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
you need to email,
Mhm.
you need to email Jocelyn, and the easiest way, and it's here on the form, Jocelyn Murray. It's actually easier if you download the form and then you type an email to her with your order.
Right, thank you.
Mm.
We did get it sorted, but yes.
And because we tried to have it so that people could go and click, 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 do an online order, but that didn't work. It needs to be an email from you to Jocelyn directly.
Okay.
So
Yep. Thank you.
okay, any other questions with any of those resources? We then have the discussion forums. Has anybody here used a discussion forum?
Yeah.
No. We haven't had many. Oh, we've had 7 people in the knitters, 5 book club people. But in the forum, this was just an area where people can make recommendations of good books to read. So you can go in yourself and you can just make a recommendation. I'm not going to be able to, oh yeah, I will be able to do this. I can write, so I would do a reply to do it. I would do a reply and I would give the heading of my book and I would type it up like an email. Oops. Okay. I just type it like an email and then and if I want to add a photo of the book cover, I can, I don't have to. And then I just click post. Okay. So I've clicked post and there we go. It comes up at the bottom here as a new post. And then I can delete it because for example, Sue or Joanne or Helen, if you went in and did an entry, you can go back and delete your own entry.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's now deleted. But so under the discussion forums, there's the book club. There are the gardener's patch. Nobody's put anything in there yet. No gardening tips. The knitters network that got going. Got a few people talking with sharing some knitting patterns. That was quite good because they were talking about someone showed the booties that they made and the pattern for the beanies that they did, the little bears that were made, and the Matter bears, fish and chip jerseys. So there's a few knitting patterns in there. So if you want to go and add a pattern, you just go reply and you then type it up and then press post and it posts into the forum. These were very much a trial and see whether or not people would use them. You know, it takes a little bit to get your head around. Sewing bees, here was, you know, share my latest project. Somebody shared a project. Debbie's been good, she's been active. So here's a pattern for an advent calendar that she made from felt. So you can then download the pattern if you'd like to. And there's a little picture of it, of what she did. So those forums are there for people if they are wanting to add anything. Again, it was just something really new. And of course, to get your bylaws and the Constitution handbook, they're all there, easy for you to find. Okay. So that's all your tools and resources. And then we have the events section, and depending on what level you're at, so for example, people in NZ297, you'll see that you can go to register to attend the events for NZ297. Virtual members, I think we've made that public, can register to attend those meetings. NZ291 members only can register for NZ291 events. And then we've got the next Sunday session that's on there, and an email will be coming to you really soon about that. So this is where you can register for the events. And underneath the events, that's where you find all your past events, is all the digital education series. So if you want to watch these videos. Are there any questions from anyone of anything, or comments about anything you would like added to the website, or anything else you'd like to find out about?
Just the one thing, when I was looking for the badge thing, I don't think there's a search anywhere. I mean, I found it, but sometimes it's knowing which one to go into. So if you put badges up in that searching at the top, Michelle, I don't think it would take you to there, would it? It'll probably call me
Club tools.
okay.
New Zealand badges, orders. Please
There
follow.
you go. I obviously didn't put the right thing in, because I went through a few things looking.
But if I just wrote badge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it still came up.
Okay. No.
But having said that, she could have updated it. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you
That's good.
it's there now. But that's something new that I learned. Anyone else? Anything else you would like to know? Okay, I'll stop sharing the screen. Anything that you think in the future that you'd like to have on the website?
We've covered quite a lot already.
Yeah,
Very,
there's a
very
lot in
interesting.
there.
I found that very interesting.
There's a lot in there, and I think to really sit, I think when the encouraging thing is that we've spent this year really building and consolidating everything. So I think for our new committees coming in, I think we've got probably about 99% of the things that we need are sitting there now. And we're just really hoping that this is the process of trying to make the roles easier for people to take on, and finding information and being able to use information off the website easier for people.
Is there any forum for, say, chatting with other secretaries from other clubs?
Not at this stage, but that's something that we can take and discuss it.
Because often the things I'd like to ask, how other people do things, and what they keep and what they delete, and how much stuff you have to keep, how much hard copy and all that. I suppose that's in the secretary roles as well, isn't it? A lot of it.
Yeah, but we might be able to like build it, you know, maybe it does become a little a discussion forum of some for the job roles.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a bad idea.
It's a very good idea.
I think so.
Yeah, no, that's it. I've written that down. So it'd be like a separate, do one for each of the club roles.
yeah.
Would that do away with empowerment days?
No,
Build on them.
no, I think you still definitely need your empowerment days, or whatever, you know, whatever they're
Oh,
going to be.
Michelle, I attended our local one, 297, I didn't feel, because of my arthritis playing up some days, I didn't feel able to drive into Christchurch from Amberley. So I did the Zoom call,
Yes,
and I got such a lot out of that meeting. I really did.
that's brilliant. I had read that you had gone in on Zoom. That was brilliant.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it should be encouraged.
I'll see if I can do it this weekend.
Yes.
Hmm.
Check with Diane on that one.
Mhm. Yeah,
She may not be doing Zoom this weekend.
I will ask.
ask
Well,
her
honestly,
again.
Helen, it really was very, very beneficial for me.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I got
I'm
a
just gonna
tremendous
stop.
amount out of it.
I'm going to stop the recording, but I'll come back to you.